I'm Jamie Burns from the Family Jones in Denver, Colorado. Here's your craft spirits and distilling tip of the week. I wanted to take some time to talk with you guys about my personal philosophy for developing recipes for botanical spirits. I like to layer flavors because spirits with more than one flavor are going to be more interesting. You can think components that are flavor affinities. So today we're distilling a rosemary botanical fraction that will then go into our house amaretto. Almonds and rosemary have a really good flavor affinity together and work really well in a spirit. You can also do things that complement each other. If you are trying to make, say, a lime distillate or a lime liqueur, you may consider using both fresh limes and dried lime peels and playing with those botanicals to get a more round flavor. When I talk about layering flavors, that's what I'm talking about. Combining different flavors to get you a more interesting spirit. This is really where distilling becomes an art. It's up to the distiller to use his senses and his experiences to create an interesting new product. My second philosophy is to start with individual botanical fractions. What I mean by this is taking the different components that you want to play with and doing individual distillations with those botanicals. If you wanted to make a gin, say, with juniper, lime, and coriander, you could play around with the recipe and try those in different combinations in the distillation, or you could do individual distillates of each of those. I like to do the latter and do individual distillates. That way, after I've done 3 distillations, I've got the base components and I combine those in an infinite amount of ways to come up with the exact flavor that I want. That really helps with recipe development, and then you can do it in a way that allows it to scale later on. The third component of my philosophy would be distilling in concentration. If you distill a botanical in a concentrated form, you can always thin it out with neutral spirit or water to stretch that botanical and give you the exact intensity that you want out of that flavor. Distilling in concentration is going to save you time because you're going to do less distillations on it. And it's also going to save you space. When you scale it up, it's going to produce a smaller quantity of spirit that you have to store until you're ready to blend it. For different flavor concentrations, each botanical is unique. You can play around with different quantities, what goes into the still. I did here 100 grams of rosemary into 1,000 grams of water and 1,000 grams of neutral spirit. For different botanicals, that might be 50 grams or 60 grams. What I like to do is play around with that number, find what works, but make sure I'm taking notes and make sure I know what's going into the pot as a way to scale. To learn more about using a lab still, click the link below.